इस वीडियो में हम देखते हैं। देखिए यहाँ पर हमारे पास में है बॉम्बई इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेशन एक्ट 1946। तो इसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें बताई गई हैं। सबसे पहले तो हमें ये देखना है कि इस एक्ट के बारे में देखना है, बॉम्बई इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेशन एक्ट 1946 है क्या। उसके बाद में इसमें अथॉरिटीज़ क्या दे रखी है। उसके बाद में इसका रजिस्ट्रेशन किस तरीके से किया जाता है इस एक्ट के अंदर। यूनियन क्या है, किस तरीके से प्रोसीड्यूर होता है, किस तरीके से रजिस्ट्रेशन किया जाता है, किस तरीके से कैंसिल किया जाता है, मतलब रजिस्ट्रेशन जो करते हैं उसको कैंसिल कैसे करते हैं। पावर और ड्यूटीज़ क्या होती है, जो लेबर ऑफिसर रहेगा उस ऑफिसर का पावर और ड्यूटीज़ क्या रहती हैं, पेनल्टीज़ क्या रहती हैं और प्रोसीड्यूर क्या रहता है। और उसके बाद में हम कंक्लूजन पर यहाँ पर पहुँच जाएंगे। तो सबसे पहले तो हम बात करते हैं किसकी इंट्रोडक्शन की, कि भाई इस रूल के अंदर क्या बताया गया है। ये तो गलत बात है। देखिए इस रूल में क्या बताया गया है उसकी अगर हम बात करें इंट्रोडक्शन वाले पार्ट में, इंट्रोडक्शन में हमें बताया गया है कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ बम्बई enacted the Bombay Industrial Dispute Act 1938 which come into force with the effect from the 1 June 1939. Subsequently, the Bombay Industrial Relation Act 1947 was brought on the statute book and are enforced in 1947, replaced the Bombay Industrial Dispute Act 1938. Sri G.L. Nanda, who was then the Labour Minister of the Bombay Province, was pioneer of this act, that is G.L. Nanda. So, G.L. Nanda is pioneer of this act. First, this act is introduced in 1938, then effect from 1 June 1939, and after that enforced in 1947. The G.L. Nanda, who was then the Labour Minister of Mumbai Province, was the pioneer of this act. This act is based on the three Gandhian principles, namely negotiation, conciliation, and arbitration. These three are Gandhian principles. First is negotiation, second is conciliation, and third is arbitration. These are three Gandhian principles. Based on that, this act is introduced. The act shall come into force in those area of the Vidarbha area of the state in which immediately before such commencement the Central Province and Beer Industrial Dispute Settlement Act 1947 was in force. Bombay Industrial Relation Act is complete code for regulating the relation of employee and employees. It provides for unbiased working from employer by making provisions for standing order and put constructive restriction on the employer from the effective certain changes. Bombay Industrial Relation 1946 introduced the concept of industrial court, which can be approached easily. The function of this court is to solve a collective dispute and have supervising power over the authorities created under the act. So, when we see the objective of this act, what are the objective of this act? During the objective of this act, the principal objective of this act may be to regulate the relation between the employer and employees and promote harmonious relation between them, to provide the machinery for settlement of dispute by adjudication or arbitration or consideration of justice, equality, and good conscience, and to promote the collective bargaining. Then, what are the definition? In the definition part, we see the definition of employee, industrial court, industrial dispute, industrial matter, industry, labor court, labor officer, and representative union. First, we see in the definition part, that is industry. What do you think about the industry? In industry, according to section 319 of this act, industry means any business, trade, manufacture or undertaking or calling of employee, any calling, service, employee, handicraft or occupation or avocation of employees, and include agriculture and agriculture operation, any branch of industries or group of industries which the state government may be notification of official gazetted declare that to be an industry for the purpose of this act. Then we see authorities. Authority to be constituted or appointed under this act. First is authority is Commissioner of Labor, that is section 4. Section 4 that 4 says that according to this act, Commissioner of Labor is appointed. Second, according to section 5, section 5 say that you can appoint registrar, additional registrar, and assistant registrar. Then uh, conciliator according to section 6, conciliator, board of conciliation according to section 7, board of conciliation, labor officer and assistant labor officer according to section 8, labor you can appoint labor officer and assistant labor officer, and according to section 9 you can appoint labor code, and according to section 10 you can appoint industrial codes. So according to section 4, we can see Commissioner of Labor. According to section 4, Commissioner of Labor, the duty of Commissioner of Labor is mediate and settle the dispute under this act. He is also empowered to settle the standing order, regulate the relation between the employer and employees with regard to the industrial matter. Second, according to section 5, that is registrar, additional registrar, and assistant registrar. The additional registrar is not subordinate to the registrar. The function of the registrar is to make inquiry and to deem fit and recognize for the purpose of this act any concern in any industry to be undertaken and any section of the undertaken to be occupation. Further, he is to maintain the register of union and list of approved union. He is also empowered to cancel the registration of any union. The Deputy Commissioner of Labor, that is Bombay, is notified as registrar of the trade union and chief conciliator for the purpose of this act for the whole of the state of Maharashtra. Then we can see conciliator. According to section 6, that is conciliator. Conciliator means the state government shall appoint a person to the chief conciliator. It may also appoint one or more chief conciliator. A conciliator is a public servant within the meaning of Indian Penal Code. He has to hold the proceeding in the prescribed manner. He has to power to call the inspect documents. The conciliator function is to mediate and hand over to settle the dispute between the employer and employee. Next, we can see Board of Conciliation. Board of Conciliation, that is given in section 7, Board of Conciliation. The state government may be notification constitute a board of conciliation, and when an industrial dispute arise for promoting the settlement of such dispute, the board consists of chairman who is the independent person and even number of representative the interest of employer and employees. Its power are wider than those of conciliator. Next, we can see labor officer and assistant labor officer. Labor officer and assistant labor officer, that is given in section 8. The state government may be notification in the official gazetted appoint labor officer and assistant labor officer for any local area or areas. The local officer duty is to watch the interest of employer and promote the harmonious relations between the employer and employees. Second, investigate the grievance of the employees and represent the employer such grievance and make a recommendation to them in conciliation with the employee concerned for their redressal, and report to the state government for existence of any industrial dispute to which no notice of change has been given together with the name of the parties thereto. Labor officer is also entitled to appear in any proceeding under this act. However, he will not appear in any proceeding in which the employer are represented by the representative union. And if there is an approved union for the industry in local area, then he can only appear only after conciliation with the union. Then we can see labor court according to section 9. Section 9 say labor court. Labor code. In labor code, the government shall by definition or by the notification of official gazetted constitute one or more labor court having jurisdiction in such local area as may be specified in such notification, and shall appoint person having the qualification over such court. A person shall not be qualified for appointment as presiding officer of labor court unless he had any judicial office in the India or not less than 5 years. He has practiced as advocate or attorney for not less than the 7 years in the High Court or any court subordinate thereto, and in any uh, industrial court, tribunal, or labor constitute under any law for the time being in force. He holds a degree in law at a university established by law in any part of the India, and is holding has held an office not lower in rank than the deputy registrar of any such industrial court and tribunal and assistant commissioner of labor under the state government, both cases in not less than 5 years. Next, we can see industrial code. An industrial code, according to section 10, uh, the state government shall constitute a court in industrial arbitration. The industrial court shall consist of three or more members, one of whom shall be president. Every member of industrial court shall be a person who is not connected with the industrial dispute referred to such court or with any industry directly affected by such dispute, and provided that no person shall be deemed to be connected with the industrial dispute or with the industry by reason only of fact that the shareholder or incorporated company which is concerned with or likely to be affected by such industrial dispute. What in such case, he shall disclose to the state government the nature and extent of the share held by him in such company. Every member of the industrial court shall be person who has been judge of the High Court and eligible for being appointment of judge of such court, provided that a person who has been judge not lower in rank than the assistant judge or not less than 3 years. A person who has been presiding officer of labor court constitute under the any law or time being in force not less than the 5 year. A person who held a degree in law of university established by the law any part of India is holding and has held the office not lower in rank than the assistant commissioner and labor under the state government for not less than 10 years shall also be eligible for appointment as a member of the industrial court, and provided further that one member of the industrial court may be person not eligible or not so eligible if in the opinion of state government he possesses expert knowledge of industrial matters. Next, we can see registration of union and procedure for registration, cancellation, and cancellation of registration. Registration of union, procedure for registration and cancellation of the registration. Uh, First, in section 11, recognition of undertaking the occupation. Then section 12, maintenance of register and approved list. In section 13, application of registration. Section 14, registration of union. Section 15, cancellation of registration. Section 16, registration of another union in place of existing registered union. Application of re-registration. Section 17. Section 18, liability of union of member not relieved by the cancellation. And section 19, periodical return to be submitted to registrar. And section 20, appeal to industrial court from order of registrar. And section 21, publication of order and registration of union for more than one local area. Next, in section 11. In section 11, recognition of undertaking and occupation. The registrar may, after making such inquiry as deemed fit, recognize for the purpose of this act any concern in an industry to be undertaking, any section of the undertaking to be occupation. In section 12, maintenance of registers and approved list. It shall be duty of the registrar to maintain a such form as may be prescribed. Register of union registered by him under the provision of this act. A list of approved union. In section 13, application for registration. Any union which has to be whole of the period of 3 calendar months immediately preceding the calendar month in which it so applies under the section of membership to or not less than the 25% of the total number of employees in any industry, any local area may apply in the prescribed form to registrar for the registration as a representative union for such industry in such local area. Registration of union. Any union in which has whole period of 3 calendar month, a membership of not less than 25% of total number of employees in the any industry or local area may apply in prescribed form to the register for registration as a representative union for such industry in local area. There are the sole bargaining agent for the representing employee in the each industry in local area. In any local area, if no representative union has been registered, a union having a membership of not less than 5% of the total number of employees in such industry in the said area may apply for registration. If neither a representative union nor a qualified union has been registered, a union having a membership not less than 15% of the total number of employees may apply for primarily union. Registration can be granted on payment of prescribed fees and after holding necessary inquiry by the registrar in local area. There shall be more than one representative union irrespective of same industry. Cancellation of registration. The registrar shall cancel the registration of union. The industrial court direct that the registration of such union shall be cancelled. If after giving the notice of such union to show cause why its registration should not be cancelled, after holding such inquiry, if any as he deemed fit, he is satisfied that it was registered under mistake and misrepresentative or fraud, that the membership of union has the continuous period of 3 calendar months fallen below the minimum required under section 13 for its registration, provided that where a strike or closure not being a legal strike or closure under this act, industry involve more than third of the employee in industry in the area has extended to a period extending 14 days in any calendar month. Such month shall be excluded in computing the said period of 3 months, provided further that the registration of union shall not be cancelled under the provision of subclause unless its membership 1 for the calendar month of which so cause under the section was issued was less than such minimum, that the registration union being primarily union has after registration failed to observe any condition specified in the section 23, that the registered union is not being conducted bona fide in the interest of employee but in the interest of employee to be prejudice of interest in employee, that has the investigate allied and assigned the commencement or constitution of the strike to stoppage which has been held or declared to be illegal. Its registration under the Indian Trade Union Act 1926 is cancelled. In section 16, registration of another union in place of existing registered union. In any time any union hereafter in this section refer to the application makes an application to be registered for being registered in place of union already registered, and section refer to the industry a local area or ground on which the larger membership of the employment in such industry, the registered shall period shall 2 year has been elapsed since the date of registration of the registered union. Call upon the registered union by notice the writing the so cause which receipt of such notice by application union shall not be registered in the its place. The application made under the subsection shall be accompanied by such fees it may be prescribed, and provided that the registered shall not be entertain any application for registration and registration in union unless a period of 1 year has elapsed since the date of the disposal of the previous application of union. The registrar shall forward to the Labour Office officer a copy of said application and notice. If on expiry of period of notice subsection after holding such inquiry and deemed fit the registrar come to the conclusion that the application union complies with the condition necessary for registration specified in the section 13, that is membership by during the whole of the period of 3 calendar month immediately preceding the calendar month in which made the application under this section larger than the membership of registered union, it shall be subject to provision of the section 14 and application union in place of the registered union, and land issue certificate and registration in such form it may be prescribed. Every application made under this section shall be published in the prescribed manner not less than 14 days before the expiry of period of notice such section. Application of re-registration. Any union, the registration of which has been cancelled on the ground that it has been registered under the mistake or the ground specified in subclause or clause section 15 may at any time after 3 months from the date of such cancellation and on payment of such fees it may be prescribed apply for re-registration and provision of the section 13-14 shall apply in respect of such application. A union of registration which has been cancelled on any other ground shall not be saved the permission of two and government may entitled to apply the re-registration. Liability of union and members not relieved by the conciliation. Notwithstanding anything containing in any law for the time being, its force and conciliation of the registration of union shall not be relieved. The union, any member, therefore, from penalty or liability incurred under this act prior to such cancellation. Section 19. Periodical return to be submitted to registrar. Every registered union shall submit to registrar and such dates and such manner as may be prescribed periodical return of its membership. Next, section 20. Appeal to industrial court from order of registrar. Any party of the proceeding before the registrar may within the 30 days from the date of order passed by the registrar under this chapter, appeal against such order of industrial court provided that the industrial court may be sufficient reason admit any appeal made under the expiry of such period. The industrial code may admit a appeal under the subsection 1 if the perusal of the memorandum of the appeal and decision appealed against in its find that the decision is contrary to law and otherwise enormous. The industrial court in appeal may confirm, modify, and rescind any order passed by the registrar and may pass such consequent order as it may deem fit. A copy of order passed by the industrial court shall be sent to the registrar. Next, publication of order that is given in section 21. Every order passed under the section 14, 15, 16, every order passed in the appeal under section 20 shall be published in the prescribed manner. Section 22. Registration of union for more than one local area. Subject to foregoing provision of this chapter, a union may be in prescribed manner be registered for industry for more local area than one. Next, we see the approved union. Section 23. Approved union. Apart from the registration of union as a representative union, the act recognized under the class of union as approved union. The registrar can enter the name on the approved list if the union makes application in that behalf. Its rules provided that membership subscription shall not be less than 15 page. Executive committee shall meet a interval not less than 3 months. All the resolutions passed by the executive committee or by the general body of the union shall be recorded in minute book. Auditor audit the at least once in each financial year. No stoppage which is illegal under this act shall be sanctioned. The registrar may not enter the union in approved list. He is satisfied that he is not being conducted in the bona fide interest of its members but to their prejudice. If any union after the period of 2 years has elapsed since the approval was entered in the approval list applies to the registrar claiming that he is having larger membership in industry and local area than already approved union for such industry, then registrar may after holding the inquiry enter its name in the approved list. The aggrieved party may within the 13 days from the date of the order passed by the registrar appeal against such order to industrial court. Section 25. Right to officer of approved union. To collect the sum payable by the members of the union on the premises under the wage were paid to them. To put up and cause to be put up a notice board on the premises of the undertaking in which its members are employed and affects or cause to be affects notice thereof. For the purpose of prevention of the settlement of industrial dispute, to the hold discussion on the premises of undertaking with the employee concerned who are member of the union to meet the discuss with the employee or any person appointed by him for the purpose of grievance of its member employee in the undertaking. Inspect its necessary in any undertaking, any place where any member of the union is employed. Next, we can see power and duties of labor officer. In the power and duties of labor officer, what are the power and duties of labor officer? Section 34, Power and duties of labor officer. A labor officer shall exercise the power confirmed by the performed duties imposed on him by under this act for the purpose of existing such power and performing such duties, and labor officer may subject to such condition as may be prescribed at any time during the working hour and outside working hour after reasonable notice enter the inspect. Any place used for the purpose of any industry, any place used as a office of any union, any premises provided by the employer for the residence of his employee, and shall be entitled to call for inspect all relevant documents which he may deem to necessary for the due discharge of his duties and power under this act. All participation containing information obtaining from any documents inspector called or under the subsection 2 shall its person in whose possession the documents was so require he be treated as confidential. A labor officer may, after giving the reasonable notice, conveyance and meeting of the employee for any of the purpose of this act on the premises where they were employed, or may require the employer to affix or written notice on the meeting on at such conspicuous place of such premises as may be ordered, and may also himself affix and cause to be affix such notice. The notice shall specify the date, time, and place of meeting, an employee or class of employee affected, and the purpose for which the meeting is conducted, provided that during the continuance and lockout, which is not illegal, no meeting of employee affected therefore be conducted on such premises without the employee consent. A labor officer shall be entitled to appear in any proceeding under this act. It shall be duty of labor officer budge the interest of employee and promote the harmonious relation between the employee and employee, investigate the grievance of employee and represent the employers such a grievance and make recommendation to them in consultation with the employees concerned for their redress. Report to the state government the existence of any industrial dispute of the which no notice of the change has been given, together with the name of the party thereof, provided that the labor officer shall not appear in any proceeding in which the employee or parties thereof are represented by the representative union. Where there is a approved union for the industrial or local area, except after consultation with the union act under the clause and subsection 6 in respect of the employer. Then we can see standing order. And standing order, standing order, the employer is required to submit the approved of the commissioner of labor within the 6 week in prescribed manner drafting standing order. The view of representative union elected representative are considered before settling the standing order. Labor commissioner shall forward a copy of standing order to the registrar. The model standing order are applicable until the standing order in respect to undertaking comes into operation. Any person aggrieved by the decision of the commissioner of labor may appeal to the industrial court within the 13 days from the date when standing order come into operation. Any employer or employer can be applied to commissioner of labor for changing in the standing order only after period of at least 1 year from the settlement date. No alteration in the standing order for 1 year. No alteration shall be made for the period of 1 year from the date of its coming into the operation, and any standing order settled under any of the foreign provision of this chapter except by the industrial court is appeal or review where such appeal or review lies. Any employer or employees may apply in commissioner of labor for the change in any standing order settled under the subsection 2 section 35 which has not been appealed against, and any standing order settled in the appeal under the subsection 3 and section 36 in the respect of which no application for review has been made. Any standing order settled or in review under the section 37 after the expiry of 1 year from the date of such standing order coming into operation. Next, alteration in standing order. What is alteration in standing order? On receipt of application under subsection 2 section 38 of Commissioner of Labor shall, after giving the order, other party of opportunity being heard and after consulting such other interest in the industry as its opinion are affected, pass such order as deemed fit. If the order affect An alteration of LD standing order forward a copy of standing order as so alteration of registrar who shall within the 15 days of the received record of the registrar refer to subsection of section 35. Standing order as a alteration shall comes into the operation from the date of its record of the registrar. The provision of section 37, 36, 38 shall as far may be apply an order passed by the Commissioner of Labour under the subsection 1 and the same manner as they apply to the standing order settled under the subsection 2 of section 36(5). Section 40A Model standing order is respect to additional or altered matter to apply to certain workmen if they are not less advantageous. Notwithstanding anything containing in the foregoing provision of this chapter, may model standing order made and notified in the official gazettes by the state government from time to time in respect of any additional matter including the schedule 1 or any alteration made in that schedule or after the date of commencement of the Bombay Industrial Relation Amendment Act 1977 shall unless such model standing order are held by the Commissioner of Labour to be less advantageous to the employee that are corresponding standing order applicable to them also apply in relation to the such employee in the undertaking respect in which standing order have already been settled under the section 35. Notice of change. In notice of change we can see in notice of change employee has given the notice of change of prescribed form K to the representative of employee has to be sent a copy of notice of chief conciliation, conciliator, registrar and government labor officer by any change or respect to industrial matter under this section 42 1 rule 51. He has been also affixed a copy of such notice and conspicuous place. Then the parties will disclose the change and demanded try to reach the settlement within 7 days. If the desired changes in respect of industrial matters are specified in the schedule, then the employer has given notice in Form L to employ their representative of the employee. If the dispute is not settled, then it shall be referred to the conciliator. If still dispute is not settled, the conciliator will declare the dispute as ended uh, and a failure and will give the certificate to the employer. Next, then the dispute shall be referred to the industrial court under section 73A of Act the adjudication of industrial court shall make the award in respect of the dispute after hearing both the parties. For the change in standing order and industrial matters specified in the schedule third aspect itself, 5 thereof employee shall make an appointment to the labor court in respect of item 5 of industrial code before the application of labor code and industrial court and employer has to approach the employee within the request of change. If after notice of the change is served and agreement is arrived, then the copy of agreement to be forwarded to the chief conciliator, registrar and labor officer. Illegal changes. In the illegal changes, the employer cannot be make any changes in the standing order settled as per provision of this act without following the procedure. The employer cannot make any changes in any industrial matters mentioned in the schedule second before giving the notice of charge as required and within the period provided. If no agreement is arrived at then before the completion of the conciliation procedure and during the period of 10 days thereafter, there is no settlement is arrived at the before the date on which award of arbitrator and industrial court or the decision of wage board comes into operation. The employer cannot be make any changes in the contravention of the term of the settlement, effect award and registered agreement and effective order or decision of the wage board. Next, we can see Joint Committee Section 48 Constitution of Joint Committee. A joint committee may be constituted for the undertaking and occupation of the consent of the employer and the registered union for the industry of local area and shall be constituted in respect of such consent. If the state government and application made to it on behalf of the registered union so directs. Provided that no joint committee shall be constituted in respect of undertaking or occupation where there is no representative union unless not less than 15% of the employer are member of the registered union. On the application made in the behalf of by the employer and union of the registered, a joint committee shall be entered in list of joint committee maintained by him and thereupon all the provision of this act shall apply for the joint committee. Every joint committee shall stand dissolved whenever the condition is specified in the provision of subsection 1. Cases to be compiled with and joint committee constituted with the consequent of employer and registered union shall also be stand dissolved on the expiry of period of 3 months and notice in that behalf being given by the employer to the union or by the union of employer. Then composition of joint committee. A joint committee shall consist such number of employer as may be prescribed, half the number of self-prescribed manner to be nominated by the union from the among employer and undertaking the occupation concerned, and other half appointment by the employer concerned, where the joint committee shall be constituted the pursuance of direction of the state government and application made by the registered union. The union and the employer shall nominated and appoint the members within such period as the state government may be order specify, and copy of such order shall may be given in order to union and employer in the manner prescribed. A chairman shall be appointed accordance with the rule and made in behalf of the shall appoint his duties and prescribed manner. Proceeding of joint committee. In proceeding of joint committee, a representative of registered union may be attend any meeting of the joint committee to advise the member representative of union, and proceeding of joint committee shall conduct in the manner prescribed. And proceedings shall be recorded in minute book and understood by majority of the employee. Next we can see conciliation procedure. In conciliation procedure, if after notice of the change is given and proposed change in object to the party who gave such notice and desired to effect the change has been sent a full settlement of the case to the registrar and chief conciliation and conciliator. After received the statement of conciliator has been commenced the conciliation proceeding, it is duty of the conciliator to endeavor to bring out the settlement of industrial dispute. If the settlement is arrived at, then the memorandum of such settlement is to be drawn up and signed by the parties. If no settlement is arrived at, conciliator has to close the proceeding before him and send full support report of chief a conciliator who is turned forward the same to state government. A state government may be constitute a board of conciliation and may refer any dispute to the for it and promoting the settlement for same. Next, we can see arbitration. Any employer or representative union or any other registered union which is representative of any employer may be written agreement agree to submit any present or future industrial dispute to the arbitration of any person, and such agreement is called as submission. It is also called as arbitration of labor court and industrial court. A copy of every such submission is sent to the registrar. An arbitrator may be refer any questions of the law arising before him in any proceeding under this act and industrial court for its decision. An arbitrator has to give award of dispute after hearing the parties. The above award of arbitrator come into operation on the date of specified, where no such date is specified than on the date on which it is published. Then we can see penalties. In the part of penalties, here these are penalties and procedure. In the part of penalties, uh, section 101 employer not to dismiss, reduce or punish an employee. Section 102 penalty for declaring illegal lockout, illegal closure. Section 103 penalty for declaring the commissioning illegal strike, illegal stoppage. Section 104 penalty for investigating etc illegal strike, lockout or closure and stoppage. Section 105 penalty for disclosing confidential information. Section 106 penalty for legal changes. Section 107 penalty for contravention and standing order. Section 108 penalty for obstruction person from carrying out duties. Section 109 penalties for options not provided for elsewhere. And Section 110 recovery of fines and compensation. Section 101 employer not to dismiss, reduce or punish an employee. No employer shall dismiss, discharge or reduce or any employee or punish him in any other manner by reason of the circumstance that the employee is an officer or member of the registered union or union has applied being registered under this act is entitled to benefit and registered agreement and settlement and submission and award. Evidence of intended to give evidence proceeding under this act and any other law by time being forced and take part in any capacity or connection with the proceeding under this act. Is any officer or member of organization or object of it to secure better industrial condition in an officer of member of organization which is not declared unlawful as is representation of the employer. No employer shall be prevent any employee from returning to work after a strike arising out of the industrial dispute. However, contravention and provision of the section 1, 2, 3, 2A on the convention punishable fine may be extended 5,000. The court trying to offence under this section may direct that out of the fine recovery, such amount is deemed to fit to be paid of employee concerned as compensation. If any pre-execution under this section burden of the providing that the dismissal, discharge and reduction punishment of employee by the employer was not in contravention of the provision of this section shall lie on the employer. Then we can see penalty for declaring illegal lockout or illegal disclosure. Any employer who are commission lockout disclosure which is labor court hold an industrial court has declared to be illegal, convention will be punishable with the fine of extent 2,500 and case of lockout or closure or in case of any being continued after the lapse of 48 hours after it has been held or declared illegal with the additional fine of extent 5,000 every day during which lockout or closure continue after such convention. Next, section 103, that is penalties for declaring commissioning illegal strike, subject to the provision of subsection 3. 97 any employee who is gone to strike or stoppage and who join a strike or stoppage which is labor court hold and industrial court are declared to be illegal shall on convention of punishable fine which may extend to Rs 10 and in case of his continuing his strike stoppage in case of after the lapse of 14 8 hour it has to be declared the illegal and additional it may extend Rs 1 per day for every day during which such strike or stoppage continues such after convention and subject to maximum of Rs 50. Next, section 104 penalty for investigating illegal strike, lockout or closure or stoppage. Any person who investigate or incites other to take part or and otherwise act in furtherance or lockout or closure for which employee is punishable under the section 102 strike or stoppage for which any employee is punishable under section 103 shall on convention to be punishable with imprisonment of either description of term which may be extended to 3 months or fine or with both. Section 105 that is penalty for disclosing confidential information. If a conciliator, a member of board or labor office or any person present at or concerned any conciliation proceeding uh, willfully disclose any information or consent of any documents in contravention of the provision of this act, he shall be on convention of complaint made by the party who gave the information or produced the documents of such proceeding be punishable with fine which may extend to Rs 1,000. Next, penalty for illegal changes. Any employee who make the changes it be declared labor court and industrial court illegal shall be convention punishable fine of Rs 5,000. Any employer who is contravention and provision of the section 47 shall on the convention punishable the imprisonment may extend to 3 months and every day he shall contravention constitute with the fine which may extend Rs 5,000 or with both. The court convicting any person under subsection 1 2 may direct such person pay such compensation as may be determined and any employee directly or adversely affected by change in issue. Next, penalty for contravention of standing order. Any employee who act in contravention and standing order settled under the chapter civil convention and punishable with the fine which may be extended to Rs 500 in case of continuing contravention of such standing order with the additional fine which extend to Rs 125 per day for every day during which shall be contravention country. Penalty for obstructing person from carrying out duties. Any person who willfully refuse entry to labor office officers or such officer or approved union or authorized under section 25 to any place he is entitled to enter, failed to produce any documents which he is required to produce, he failed to comply with the any requesting order issued him or by under the provision of this act made thereafter the convention, he punishable fine of Rs 500. Next, section 109, penalties for offence not provided for elsewhere. However, the contravention of any of the provision of this act, any rules made thereunder shall on convention, if no other penalties elsewhere provided or under this act, such contravention may be punishable with the fine which may be extended to Rs 100. And in the event of such person have been previously convicted or offensive under this act, any rule made thereafter with the fine which may be extended to Rs 200. Then recovery of fines and compensation, that is given section 110, the amount of any fine imposed or any compensation directed by any court to be paid under this act shall be recoverable as area of land revenue. So this is all about the Bombay Industrial Relations Act 1948, that is used for uh, law relating to industrial relation and adjudication, that is paper 1, diploma in labor law, that is Industrial Relationship Act 1946. Thanks for watching or thanks for listening.